still following him here. He's definitely very quick. I mean, he could maybe make up a couple more positions, but realistically, he's not going to catch up with the likes of Doman.
No, and
probably not even Creeman. And also, Wackinger is 12 seconds ahead of him right now, so he needs to catch up by over 3 seconds a lap if he wants to even have a chance of overtaking him. This is not looking good for Lance at all.
here we are then on board with Shimek. He's making some mistakes. He's making some mistakes in the sand, and he can't afford to be too lax. There's still 3 laps to go, as Lance now setting some fastest laps. He can't afford to lay off the throttle yet. It's maybe getting a bit bored in there, but got to keep going, and so does this man, Mike. Although really he could almost disconnect and still win the race at this moment. He's just driving very safely. Look, he's not even using any of the track out of the final corner. He doesn't want to risk a mistake.
He has only 3 laps to go now, so tyres will be completely shot ages ago, but low fuel, he'll be able to drive fairly decent lap times, and he really doesn't have to push at all.
Yeah, definitely. Mike just driving solidly in between the lines, just not pushing it too hard. I haven't actually seen him make a mistake all race, unlike in Australia, where we did see a few mistakes, but that's probably a tougher track than Bahrain. Bahrain, you get a long rest before each corner.
You get another fastest lap here by Lance, but again, he's just way too far behind. You can see he's got clear air in front of him. He's not going to catch anyone before the end of the race, it doesn't look like.
No, probably not. Definitely poor strategy in the HRT camp. Definitely off the ball. Everybody else going for one stop early. It was exciting at the start, but it's just meant the end of the race has kind of petered out a bit. Meanwhile, here we are on board with the second place car, Shy Guy. As now only 2 laps to go then for Mike. He's completed 21 out of the 23. And 9.6 seconds back to Shy Guy, so he's really just got to control the pace from here and bring it home with no reliability issues.
There's also a 3-second gap between Shy Guy and Shimek, so that battle seems to be over, and Shy Guy's looking up for a confident 2nd place here.
Yeah, that's a good result from him after just being off the podium in Australia. And winning the test race, of course. But Mike Knight really was shocked. He looks like he's going to take 2 early season victories to start the year, and the Toro Rosso team really coming on strong.
Yeah, with Pingu's going to get a top 5 as well here, so this is going to be a lot of points here for the Toro Rosso team. They're definitely contenders for the title.
And after Creechman's bad qualifying and race, even better, because Red Bull, who are their main rivals at the moment, are gonna lose a little bit, even though Shimek's gonna come 3rd. Ooh, and there's Pingu making a small mistake there, and Doman is still on the back of him as Mike Knight now starts his final lap.
He's just ran an incredible race. There's nothing else you can say really. He hasn't put a single wheel wrong.
Destroyed the field here at Bahrain. Not one of the most exciting F1 Speed League races we've ever seen. We had some battling for the podium positions. An exciting start, that was for sure, but after that it's just been a little bit calm, a little bit relaxed, controlled racing, but still been enjoyable nonetheless.
Shy Guy and Shimek have battled both with drivers catching up with each other, but in the end Shy Guy came out on top.
Well, it's not quite over yet, still got one more circuit of the Bahrain International Circuit to go.
Yes, commentator's curse.
Yeah, don't invoke anything after we do that. But Mike now up the hill, and he's running onto the curb there. He doesn't want to risk going wide for his big moment, and he's going to come around the final corner. It's quite a way before the finishing line, but Mike Knight comes off the final corner and he's going to win his 2nd race in a row. Mike Knight wins the GP Bahrajnu.
Here comes Shy Guy for a well-deserved 2nd here, closely followed by Shimek.
Yeah, looks like Shy Guy slowed down on the final lap perhaps, and Shimek comes through in a good 3rd position, so good work from him too, getting on the podium after his 2nd place in Australia.
We've got a battle here for 10th spot. Callis was involved in a close battle near the end of the Australian Grand Prix, and he is here again.
Yeah, this is a really close battle. Can be quite exciting, actually.
Looks like it could head down into a last corner sprint to the finish.
Kaz has got a good run off this second to last corner. If he gets an even better one off the final corner, we could have a photo finish here. And he's made the move already.
Dived up the inside. Fantastic move by Salus. And that's it. That's 1 point taken away from Arsene and claimed by him in the final corner. Great way to snatch away a point. But there he is, the winner, Mike Nike. Nobody could stop him at all. Great drive from Mike.
Nearly about 10 seconds lead at the end of the race. It was a very dominating victory.
Very dominating indeed. Meanwhile, here's another battle on the final lap, it would seem, between Popo and Arsene. Look at Popo diving up the inside of Arsene.
So this was for 9th place, I believe. And then Arsene would lose another place after making a couple of mistakes there through the tight, twisty section.
So it was the final lap. And now we'll move on to the podium celebrations with Mike, Shy Guy and Shimek. Great scenes on the podium for Mike, once again taking another well-deserved victory. With a total time of 27 minutes 25 seconds. It's quite a long race. So few laps, quite a long race, especially as they spent all that time on the old tyres. Shy Guy finished in second, a good result from him, and Shimek comes through to complete the podium in third. Pingu takes a great 4th place in the Sister Toro Rosso, and Doman, at a track where he's been so strong on in the past, can only manage 5th place.
Next up in 6th position is Kreeman, who after a poor qualifying did manage to recover slightly. In 7th place is Wackinger, who did have a big recovery drive after losing all that time with his car parked in the barriers. He's managed to come back up to the 7th place. In 8th place is Lance, who will be very disappointed after being up in 4th at one point, but a nasty free stop strategy has really messed up his race. In 9th place, we have Popovic, who stayed out for a very long time on old tyres, but new tyres at the end of the race did help him make up a couple of vital positions. And rounding out the top 10 is Salas, with an amazing last corner pass to claim the final point.
Next up in 11th place is Arsene, who we watched getting passed on that last lap, so he actually missed out on 1 point there to Salas, who got 10th position. Next up, in 12th position, is Arjun, who actually didn't have the greatest of races, but that was probably due to his strategy where he followed Lance, so maybe not the best thing to try on Bahrajnu. In 13th position is Sebo in the Ferrari. 14th is Flam for the Marussia Racing team, who we did actually see take a big dive into the sand, which basically killed his speed and his tyres. And in finishing 2 laps down, in 15th position is Strike, also in the Ferrari. So the Ferrari's not picking up any points in this race, which could be crucial in their Constructors' Championship.
So now leading the standard is Mike Nike with a perfect 50 points and a very close battle for second between Shimek and Shy Guy. The Shimek picked up a second and a third, and Shy Guy a 4th and a 2nd. Wackinger is about 10 points behind those two with 21 points.
And in 5th place is Creechman, closely followed in 6th, only 2 points behind, is Pingu, who had a much improved performance today in the Toro Rosso. In 7th place is the second of the McLarens of Doman, who, for a multiple world champion, he should be very disappointed with the lack of points here. And in 8th place is Lance, who could be much higher up the standings had he had a better race strategy today.
So next up, in 9th position, is Strike in the Ferrari, who picks up no points this week, and he stays on 2 after his 9th position last week. Down in 10th position is Popovich then, he had his first race in the F1 Speed League. He finished 9th, so he also picks up 2 points. And down in the bottom of the field then, is in 11th, is Salos, who picks up 1 point this week. And with his 1 point finish last week, he goes up to 2 in the championship.
So, after this race, Toro Rosso increasing their lead by quite a bit in the Constructors' Championship. 66 points now. And Red Bull Racing are a whole 15 points back already with only 51 points. McLaren are in 3rd place, also with 37 points, so quite a spread at the moment at the top of the Constructors' Championship.
Only 7 points behind McLaren is the Force India team in 4th place, with all 30 of their points being picked up by Shy Guy. In 5th place is the HRT team, with all 12 points as well being picked up by Lance. And in 6th place is the Scuderia Ferrari team, who have only got 2 points after 2 races.
Down in 7th then is the Mercedes GP team, with Popovich picking up the only 2 points there. And down in 8th position is the Marussia Racing team, with both the points coming from Salos. That leaves Flam still actually yet to score a point for his team.
Join us next week on the F1 Speed League, where we will have highlights of the race from Valencia. Not a full race this time. We're bringing probably about 7 or 8 of the races in full race format, and then the other 2 or 3 will make up with highlights. And also join us on Siders TV later this week for full coverage of the Scarts Shootout 2012. It's going to be a fantastic race at the 2.5 mile oval at Daytona. Join us for that one. It should be very interesting to watch. But for now, thanks for joining us from the GP Bahrajnu. We're looking forward to that race in Valencia in a few weeks' time. It's been an interesting race. There was some good battles early on. It calmed down a bit towards the end, but there was some interesting battles still for the final points. A great dive by Salos up the inside of Arsen in the final corner. How was it for you two?
Well, I enjoyed that race very thoroughly. There was a great deal of battles and some very, very interesting strategies as well.
Yeah, it's been a good race today. We've seen some quality racing once again. The Toro Rosso is showing some extremely good testing strategies. Mike Knight driving some absolute quality racing with no mistakes. So really impressive from him with his 17-point lead already. So I look forward to seeing you all in Valencia.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. It's goodbye from me, James Tucker.
It's goodbye from me, Sam Jones.
And it's goodbye from me, Jonathan Holmes.
Good night.